This is the fabulous rod. You guys have probably seen this rod in a lot of different YouTubers videos, including mine, because I did make a video on this rod previously because I actually thought this rod was coming out last weekend and it turned out it didn't. But Nick did say in game chat, I don't think I have a screenshot of it, but he 90% confirmed that this rod is going to come out in this weekend's update. He said, should we release Fabulous Rod for this weekend's update? And today we're going to be going over the rod and what you guys should do and get ready in order to get the rod and obviously for the dev quest. Now, obviously, if you guys know about me and my past with these dev rods is I usually get the information early, and I do have some early information about this rod. But the thing is, last time I shared early information on my stream, I was told to take my stream down, my stream VOD down, and the quests ended up changing completely. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about the wind element. So wind element originally was supposed to be two different quests, completely different from the ones that we got. One of them was supposed to be a atomic spectral serpent. Yes, an atomic spectral serpent, and I did say it on stream. So I was basically telling people, get ready to get nukes. You guys are gonna have to get that, blah blah blah. And I also said that there's gonna be one of the bestiaries being in, actually I don't think it was me, but I think somebody else did end up leaking that the other quest, or one of the other quests, was going to be a random bestiary being filled out for shiny and sparkling, kind of like the luminescent cavern one for luminescent oath for the rod. So that ended up getting leaked, and those two quests ended up getting changed. And I don't want these quests getting changed because my friend Green has actually spent a lot of time figuring out what type of quests he will be choosing for you guys. And I do know, maybe 2 or 3 quests for this rod, and I can confidently say that this rod will be the hardest obtainable dev rod in the entire game. The quests are going to be very, very hard, so I wish a lot of you guys good luck. But yeah, we're going to go over the stats real quick. So obviously we got 99% lure speed, 250% luck, 1 control, negative 100% resilience, and infinite max kilograms. So I did get confirmation from Green that the stats were gonna get changed, and obviously the passive too. I think the lure speed is gonna stay the same, or if anything go up to like 100%. And I do think the luck, if anything, will get a buff. I don't see why they would make the luck under 250. I think they would make it like 600 or something. If this rod is technically harder to get than wind element, I don't see them not making this rod better than wind element. The control is definitely going to get nerfed. I mean, you guys are going to see why in a bit. And the resilience is also going to get buffed. The resilience is probably going to be like negative 10% or something. But the passive right now is kind of interesting because when you fish, you get a full control bar, and you get consistent slashes. So how slashes work on every other rod with chaotic, piercing, or just the rod itself is it has a chance to slash depending on like the resilience and the progress speed of the fish every second. But this rod is consistent no matter what. Obviously, it will depend on the resilience and the progress speed of whichever fish you're catching. But every second or 0.5 seconds, you will guarantee a slash no matter what, which is really nice. I mean, again, it just depends on the fish itself, how quickly the slashes are going to be. So obviously, this rod will make you never, ever lose a fish. Ever. I mean, you're always going to be catching a fish, but that's going to be nerfed and changed. Obviously, this rod would be a bit too OP if that was the case. Everybody would be using this rod to go AFK and fish for some stuff. So obviously, it will end up getting changed. But I do know one thing for sure, and it's that this passive will rely on the progress speed, control, and resilience. So it's going to have to do something with those there. I don't know if this rod will get its own mutation, and I sure hope it does get its own mutation. Since I've already leaked a bit of the wind element, I feel like why not give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek of what the quests are going to look like. So me and Midnight, we're just chilling in a VC in my Discord server. Green joins the call, and then he's like all excited to tell us about how his rod's coming out soon. And this was like a week ago, by the way, week and a half ago. He's all telling us how excited he is, how the quests are going to be very annoying. He also told us that the quests cannot be done by being boosted, so you have to catch the fishes yourself. It would only count if you catch the fish yourself, so your friends will not be able to give you the fishes. Now I don't know if it's 100% right. Things can change. Me saying this could technically be counted as leaking. I hope it's not, and I hope I don't get in trouble for this because they might make me take down this video for this. But yeah, obviously there's going to be some very tough quests in this, and he asked us, hey, do you guys want to know a couple of the quests? And he's like, choose between 1, 2, or 3, and we're like, oh, 1, 2, and 3. Basically every dev rod that's been released in the game has only had 3 to 4 quests, so we were like, oh, 3 quests, not bad. And we said, okay, what about number 2? And he said, okay, number 2, stage 1, stage 2, or stage 3. And that's where it hit us. These 3 quests will have stages to them, so it is not 3 quests, it will be a lot more. So yeah, you guys better get ready to be on that grind. This will be insanely grindy, and a lot of people are not gonna like this quest. Now obviously we got given information about some quests which I cannot give. That is confidential information. You guys will have to figure that out whenever that comes out, but I can say that you will be needing a certain rod, obtainable rod, just like most of other dev rod quests. So with Oniri Falks, you need the Wrath mutation, which you can get from a certain rod that is obtainable. With Wind Element, you need it to get King's Blessing, which is from a obtainable rod. Now it's going to be the same thing with this quest, so make sure you guys go ahead and grind as many rods as you guys can before the update comes out. Obviously, I can't tell you guys which one it is, but if you guys somehow figure it out and find out what it is, congrats, because you guys will have a head start to that quest. Now, obviously, do I think this rod will end up being one of the best rods in the game? I think it won't, for the sole reason that when Green was talking to us, it sounded like Nick didn't want this rod to be one of the best rods in the game, which I personally don't understand. If you're making the quests insanely hard to do, just like the Wind Element was, and end up nerfing the quests because they were too hard to do, and the rod was too bad that people didn't really want to grind for anymore because the grind wasn't really worth it, so he ended up having to buff the rod as well. It's just going to be the same thing. If these quests are even harder than the pre-nerf quests for Wind Element, then I'm expecting this rod to be insanely good. But from what I heard, Nick really isn't planning that. I mean, honestly, the passive could be one of the best passives in the game. It could have its own mutation. I don't know what it could be, but I really hope Nick doesn't fumble the bag with this rod. I feel like a lot of people do want this rod and will end up grinding for it because the way it just sits around you is really, really cool. And the way it's very OP, and you know, it's from Terraria, kind of like a completely different game than fishing. People are really going to enjoy this. Obviously, the colors too. I've heard a lot of people wanting this rod just because it looks so nice, and the coloring as well. Anyways, that's gonna be the end of my explanation. I wish I could tell you guys more about this rod, but I really can't. You guys will have to figure that out when the rod comes out. Now again, I just want to make this clear. Anything I did say could end up being changed. This rod could end up not coming out this weekend, or the quest can be completely different from what I explained it to be. So please do not go off on me if you guys are like, oh, Shifted, you lied about the rod. Guys, I'm sorry, but sometimes these staff or admins or devs could take the little things I say and count it as a leak and end up changing the entire quest rod. So that's why I couldn't go too much in depth about it, and that's why I kind of give you guys a little hints throughout the video. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on this rod coming out hopefully this weekend in the comments. Let me know if you guys think this rod is going to be OP or not. Let me know if you guys think the passive will be the best in the game, if it's going to be top 3 rods in the game, or if this rod will have its own mutation. I'm going to hear y'all's opinion on how you guys think this rod's going to work. And yeah, I will see you guys all in my next video. Peace out, everybody.